Okay, good evening all.
Good evening.
Yes, I would again request people to have their videos on. Today is just the second day, second session that we are having for book review. And this time, what is exciting is the kind of participation. Yes, the number of participants are also coming in. Uh, the speed with which people are joining, and that too on Sunday evening. So it's people have made a point to take that time and reserve it for this call, and that is what is important. Sorry, very sorry for the reschedule of the call to begin with. Okay, but here we have a wonderful book today. That is Mic Check 1 2 3. It's definitely it's a small book, 100-page book, but it has a lot of very good content, which we have our three speakers for the day: Dr. Akash Chanda, CA Manisha Agarwal, and Ms. Poonam Mehta. They would be talking to us now to speak few lines about the speakers. There's a lot actually. They all are seniors in their own way. But because the focus of this call, of this meet today is book review, I'm going to keep their introduction to minimal. I hope I do justice to them. But like, for example, CA Manisha Agarwal, she is, besides having a long experience as a chartered accountant, she has contributed a lot as a guest faculty, as a judge. She has been master of ceremonies. She has been a program coordinator for various seminars. So that shows the passion, the excitement that she has, that she wants to share with the learners. Then we have Dr. Akash Chanda, who is, we have a maths expert with us. So we have Dr. Akash Chanda, the founder of the Center of Metaphysical Research and Soft Skills. He is from my interaction with him. He is an avid reader. He is also a writer who has written a lot of books. He has researched, besides his PhD in English literature, he has done original research on English poetry that was written in the United States by the renowned Indian metaphysician and poet Swami Ram Tirtha. He, yes, he is a scholar in Indology. I mean, I have really loved the kind of books that he has written. Then we have Poonam Mehta Vyas. She is a discovery coach who has many layers to her personality. What I really loved about Poonam is that uh, she is very conscious about the Indian, I would say, Vedas, then the Indian philosophy tools, NLP, self hypnosis. She also works in fifth dimension energy healing, body whispering, and numerology. Numerology is my personal topic of interest. So that's we'll talk about it later on a personal scale. But yes, let's see. So we have an exciting group of uh, reviewers today. The stage is on to you all. All the best.
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to start. Me becoming an author was not planned. Becoming a television anchor was. Working with an Indian MNC was not planned. Becoming an MC for Fortune 500 companies was. With these lines, our author, Miss Kavya Arshavali, an electrical turned award winning actor, pens down her journey on emceeing in the book Mic Check 1 2 3, an anecdotal guide on getting paid to speak on stage. It is a simple and first step or guide on what is emceeing and speaking. The author, Kavya, who is a renowned and dynamic name in the live events industry and is known to be one of the most sought after voices across the shows, has tried to put her first hand experience and observation of emceeing in a conversational manner without sounding like preaching or teaching. It shares anecdotes from her experience both off stage and on stage, collected over 1,400 shows she has done. The book has been written with an intention to share stories and moments of professional speakers on the journey to becoming voices of tomorrow. The one word The one word associated with her work is game changer. She was the Sutradhar, or the soul, for some of the most loved brands in her portfolio. I'm just naming a few: Audi, Google, Infosys, HSBC, Femina, ICICI, Economic Times. There are a long list, I will not say. But the most preferred anchor for the shows were the Government of India, Government of Telangana, and the Government of Andhra Pradesh. What makes this book unique is that Kavya has very precisely divided the entire book into 7 chapters, each chapter leading to the next. Each chapter is based on questions that she had been asked by people who were either curious or interested to know how she was doing so good. I am reminded of one of her anecdotes where her father was tuned to CNBC TV 18, taking stocks of the bulls and the bears. She was moving towards the living room when a voice grabbed her attention. She immediately turned back toward the screen and stared at me until she was jolted back to reality by her mother's mockery. What are you doing? The dynamic voice was enthralling. The dynamic voice and the enthralling aura captivated her so much that she turned towards her father and said, Dad, I want to be like her. The lady on the screen was none other than Shireen Bhan, the current managing editor of CNBC TV 18 and Kavya's eternal role model. Kavya, whose father was an officer in the Indian Navy, her first choice was to become the first woman chief of naval staff. But when she met her role model on screen, she knew her calling. This is how she has stressed upon the importance of having role models who would actually inspire us, ignite the fire within to follow our passion. She has quoted a number of people into in the entire book, but yet in particular, she had quoted Jim Rohn. Formal education makes you a living, but self-education makes you a fortune. So it becomes imperative that we continue to build, upskill, reinvent, empower ourselves with continuous self-development. It happens more when we connect with people. She has highlighted through examples and real-life experiences that our network is our network. The author, through her various narratives, talks about self-awareness and getting heard or discovered. Navigating through her journey in the book, from money matters to perks and privilege, spotlight to styling, she speaks about the impact different people from different walks of life have guided and transformed her in one way or the other.
It's
One
just
such particular person.
1 minute. Are the slides, supposed to be changed, or is it the slide only?
No, ma'am, it won't be changed now.
I'll do it
Later
once
on, ma'am.
needed.
So, to continue, the one such particular person who would be her mentor, Mr. Nitish Gawade. The idea of writing this book was specifically brought about by him. He convinced Kavya for writing this book with a mere thought. You're worried about doing justice to the role of an author? When you are such a powerful storyteller, too many people miss out on this chance to share such inspiring stories because of this hesitation. But ultimately, one's experience are what makes them unique. And lo, behold, this book is in our hands. Not only this, Kavya feels that if we get something from the society in terms of fame, respect, money, or admiration, it becomes our duty to reciprocate the same. Kavya dedicates her time between celebrating the audience as an anchor and celebrating the artisans with her made in India brand, Kalanika. The entrepreneur in her has made her conceptualize the handloom brand Kalanika, promoting the weaves of India and changing the narrative of the entire handloom industry. Getting to the grassroots of the Indian heritage and textile, she works with close to 68 weavers across 140 looms to create legacy wheels and is on a mission to put the legacy of Upada village on the global map of handloom. Our author is the proud recipient of Rashtriya Samman Award as the best anchor and has also been conferred as the Voice of Asia for her outstanding contribution to live events fraternity. To sum up, Kavya inspires the young aspirants who want to come in the limelight or who want to join the emceeing business to have belief in oneself, to overcome the insecurities and shed their inhibitions, work on their positive qualities and have an in-depth knowledge of their own content, besides the broader knowledge of the financial matters, and get up, be confident. She has reiterated again and again that to create a wow effect amongst the audience, a warm and genuine smile is all that is required. So this book is an anecdotal guidebook written in simple English for aspiring freshers and newborn. I, C.A. Manisha Agarwal, along with Dr. Chanda, Dr. Akash Chanda, and Ms. Poonam Vyas, would be reviewing this book jointly. I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Rajkumar Akarodia and Dr. Sandhya in particular for giving us this opportunity to review this book. Having given a brief summary, I now invite Dr. Akash Chanda to kindly share your views on how have the author started off. Over to you, Akash
Thank you,
Chanda.
Manisha. Thank you, Manisha. I got the crux of the book, the whole, heart and soul of the book in the first chapter. Let's get a small bird's eye view what she wants to say. Now, the first thing the author has in her mind is the book is like a kind of applied career orientation. Career orientation means how to orient your career, how to initiate it, how to finalize your goal and go ahead. So the book is for very young learners, those who are in the initial age of their development. They must have a kind of dream, how to go ahead with the dream and how to get success in it. Now, the first and very important point she understood is having a clear aim of your life. I always remember one Urdu couplet, if you permit me to say. A poet said, तुमने चाहा ही नहीं वरना हालात बदल सकते थे, तेरे आंसू मेरी आंखों से निकल सकते थे, तुम तो ठहरे ही रहे झील के पानी की तरह, दरिया बनते तो बहुत दूर निकल सकते थे. So the author was having in her mind, first you have a clear desire to do something, and for that help she went for having a role model. Then for the author, the role model was Shireen Bhan, an Indian journalist. Why to have a role model? She wanted to say the role model should be to navigate and to narrow focus. We may have different focus in the initial stages, and navigation is very important this way. Now, second important point was beyond a hack. Means she wants to say there should not be shortcuts to get success. You should have deep study, you should give time to yourself, you should understand your strengths, you should align yourself with your goal, your role model, and then you should move ahead, and it always takes time. Then she said, in the early part of your life, anyhow, if you get a role model, if you get something to inspire you, some person, some event or something, then you should try to cultivate good habits. As early as possible, you get good habits in your life, you will get benefits. As you know, when you take a flight in a plane, you have to pay for extra kilogram. Similarly, your bad habits, your time wasters, your different kind of your mind diversions, they all, you have to pay for it. You will lose something in your life for all the diversions. Next very important point she pointed out, She said, you anyhow, you develop a belief in your own self, and it will become a kind of superpower to you. Believing in yourself means believing your believing in your strengths, understanding your strength again, and your aim that you can do it anyhow. Then her point is, anyhow, in life, you develop your own research and development wing. You don't have to go for any office. You yourself is, center of all your research. You get time, you study, you find new opportunities, you look at everywhere from 360 degree everywhere, and anyhow get what are the new opportunities in your life. And then the next part is upskilling. You should keep on developing your skill as per the change in the industry. Then sometimes you would like to have breaks. Maybe things are not good sometimes, or some you feel like you should give time to yourself. Then breaks are also okay in this way. Breaks are not just quitting your job. You have to check your finances. Breaks are to align your skills with the purpose you already had, the purpose you already defined in your life. Then she said, one of the most important power you will have is by studying. You should do your homework. You should study in your way of, in your path, in your direction of your study. Then you should know your industry. Next important point is, you anyhow, things will be good and things will be bad. You have to be bold and you have to be fearless. Next important point is, she defined two important points, two important slogans. One is value calling and second is cold calling. She said, what can I give you? What can we create? We have to say, instead of cold calling, what I want from you. Means you don't have to request for work. You anyhow make your profile strong, anyhow make your biodata strong, that you must be visible. You must be discovered. Like she said that in one of my where I was working, when the main anchor didn't turn up for the event, I was asked to step in. So this was main crux of the first chapter. She said the soft skill part. Thank you. Now to the next chapter, the audience.
Thank you so much, Akash. It was wonderful
Thank
to
you,
have your. It was wonderful to have your analysis of chapter 1. Chapter 2 is a very, very integral and important part of all these stage presentations, and it is all about the audience. For us right now, you are the audience. So a warm good evening to all of you present here, and thank you for coming over here. Kavya says that your genuine engagement and a kind smile can actually energize the whole scenario around. इसको शुरू करते हैं हम लोग कि जो ऑडियंस होती है उनके लिए दो लाइनें कही हैं कि वो नजारे देखने नहीं नजरें मिलाने आए हैं, वो नजारे देखने नहीं नजरें मिलाने आए हैं, अगर पलकें झपक गई तो दिल नहीं मिल पाएंगे. That means however your presence of mind is there, that wow effect that you feel like generating, you generate with your wholesomeness, your 100% energetic integration. But when it comes to skill and adoption of that skill in your presentation, she talks about the value of voice and diction. So she says that the voice is your inner honesty. The more you are passionate about the profession that you are living and making money from and creating a name and fame coming to you from that, your devotion creates that integrity and honesty into your voice. And then she goes to diction because she gets a lot of compliments coming into her directly or through her inboxes, wherein people say, Kavya ji, you speak really well and your accent is so good. So she smiles and she gives an informative reward that what you like in me is not my accent. What you like me is not even my dialect. What you like me is my diction. So let's understand. Kavya very nicely elaborates this thing. What is an accent? What is a dialect? And what is a diction? So Kavya says that based on to your geographical region, the same language when spoken in two different ways, it's known as accent. Like in Hindi, we can have a Punjabi accent and we can have a Bihari accent, and we can make out who's from Punjab, who's from Bihar. The dialect goes from more influencing factor onto it. That means not just the geographical region, but the education, the exposure, the socioeconomic strata. These all things make your usage of words in your conversation coming across very differently. Like I'm asking for the same thing, would be using different words and different associations with it. But when it comes to diction, Kavya says that it is the soul of any speech, it is the soul of any stage show, because it's the planning, preparation, and the practice of right and appropriate words to convey a clear, crisp, short message across. The practice, the homework that you do before the stage, that makes your diction very, very important. So Kavya highlights the value of being present, value of using your homework appropriately. But then she says there is something more to it, and which is your appearance and your clothes. So she mentions that the speed of light is way ahead and much greater than the speed of sound. So before you get present, before people speaking your words, their eyes grab you with your possibilities. So please dress up as per the occasion. Dress up what you feel comfortable, because as an MC, you may need to run around a lot of time. And also, what is appropriate to the brand that you are representing. And then she moves on to a very authentic technique that she has written about in this book, and that is about audience engagement. Because the key is to engage the audience. The key is to involve them into the journey of the brand mission. So she gives this wonderful technique called ASQ technique. A stands for activity, S stands for statistics, Q stands for quoting someone who is like an authority or an expert into that domain. So she says that every 4 minutes, the human mind diverts its attention. So every fourth minute or every fifth minute, there is a plateau to it. So at first plateau, you can introduce an activity that can maintain the decorum of the hall, at the same time engage the people. Can we have one right now? Can we all wave to each other saying a good hello? Thank you for showing up all here. So the next plateau, whenever it comes and say 10 minutes or 12 minutes, and when you observe that the audience eyes are not in contact with you, you can introduce a good statistics and information that can be very useful for your audience. And whenever the next plateau comes, you can actually quote the expert. You can actually give the opinion of somebody very authentic from that domain. And that's how continuously making a permutation and combination of this ASQ technique, you can get your audience completely hooked up to you. The next she talks about is the punctuality and tech rehearsals. When she talks about homework, what she means is that being in time is very, very important for a master of ceremony, because there are a lot of other people involved in just presenting the show. The brand team is there, the event team is there, the production team is there, the volunteers are there, the stage technical support is there, what is placed at what place. And if you are entering at the last moment, if any contingency happens, you'll not have a plan B. So as to have your plan B, C, D ready, because in a big event, there is a lot of uncertainties, because a lot of factors play their roles. So you have to be super, super, super ready. And the key to that is punctuality, reach before in time, manage and coordinate with all the people involved, and then give your speech. Your aura would be completely different. Then the next thing that Kavya talks about is understanding the audience. So we have a lot of notions about the audience, what kind of audience will we receive. But she precisely tells that ask questions. A questioning technique to know your audience really helps you to get a lot of clear points. If you have clear pointers like who is your audience, 2, what is the age group of your audience, 3, why are they coming for this particular show, a lot of preparation like intonation, the words that you are going to be using, the colors that you are going to associate, the dialect that you'll pitch in with, that will make a lot of difference for understanding the audience and then keeping the audience entertained. Now, entertainment is the key, we all know. Dirty Picture has set our minds very clearly. The world is all about entertainment, entertainment, and entertainment. So Kavya also emphasizes that entertainment is the key even to emceeing and being on the stage presentation. So presence of mind allows you to observe people. Are they yawning? Like a small activity. Let's all do it. Can we smile and yawn together? We can't. Either you can smile or you can yawn. So if you are an MC and if the audience is yawning, you can choose to smile and they'll mirror you. So these are like small hooks to keep your audience engaged. And this is what Kavya calls at being present in the moment. With super energy, with supercharging yourself, you can actually have this spillover effect on your audience. But Kavya gives also a word of caution here that thinking out of the box is great, because when it comes to activity, we plan a lot. And once we plan a lot, we want to project a lot. And once you want to project a lot, you become very aggressive rather than assertive in your approach. Sometimes the audience may feel unsafe because of a lot of instructions coming from the MC. So she says that thinking out of the box is great, but don't underestimate the power of common sense. That means respect your audience and respect the safety concerns of your audience. And that's how you'll be able to engage, entertain, plus respect your audience to keep them on the journey of the brand mission. What is the brand's vision for which they have deployed the anchor and have called the audience. So they all are actually traveling together to reach to a certain outcome. And that can best happen when you respect each other's convenience, comfort, and comprehension. So next chapter is the money matters, and I hand over the things to Manisha.
Thank you, Poonam. It was great. We all love money. And there's an ancient wisdom that says that money cannot buy happiness. But the author says it surely allows us the access to choices that we might not otherwise have if we didn't have money. It provides a safety net, shielding us from the uncertainties of life. Knowing that we have the resources or the money to weather unexpected expenses or emergencies, it contributes significantly to our overall well-being. So money matters. And we all would agree, don't we? Friends, we all agree to it. But as MCs, we are not able to negotiate about the fee since we do not realize our self-worth. Once again, she emphasizes self-realization leads to confidence and also helps the others realize your own potential. The author has very nicely narrated an incident wherein the arrival of her driver in a Mercedes to pick her up from a show convinced an elderly gentleman that her emceeing business was actually quite successful, both in terms of fame as well as money. And then the gentleman subtly said, "Yes, Kavya, I'm going to have my niece talk over to you." So this incident makes us understand that the arrival of the Mercedes is what has made up the importance of money. What is the amount of money that MCs can make? Way back 10 years to 15 years ago, it was very insignificant, but now, yes, it is a lot. But just money matters? No. She lays stress on the importance of sharing an invoice, which is acknowledgement of the work done. Also, it is important to value yourself. A professional invoice allows to steer away from the hideous terms, such as rate card, which felt more like a stigma during those days rather than a fee. The invoice changes the tone of conversation from a casual talk money to a more professional one. Kavya again happens to quote Chester Louis Caras. In business and life, we don't get what you deserve, but what you negotiate. The importance of negotiation cannot be undermined. And the author has rightly mentioned that negotiation is a top-notch skill in itself and has mentioned Mr. Anand Pillai, who is an orator and recommends watching his videos to learn more about the art of negotiation. So he again stresses that it is important to conduct search, to determine the price you would like to quote for your services. About the money investment, we all know Warren Buffett. He has said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. With the increase in investment awareness in recent years, many youngsters are wisely investing their money across different financial assets. However, in the event industry, Kavya advises that you are your own investment. Hence, apart from investing in other financial assets, you need to invest a decent amount of money for your own branding activities, which might include getting a hairstylist or a makeup artist or a videographer who would join you at the event. Again, the next point which she talks about is knowledge. We all know knowledge is power. But knowledge is not only powerful, it is also very profitable. The author again shares a conversation with Sriram Imami. In his words, in the words of Sriram Imami, creativity is undoubtedly critical, but it is essential to have a broad range of knowledge. While depth in a specific field is valuable, having a breadth of understanding in areas like finance, marketing, body language, communication style is equally important. So the artists need to consider financial realities while staying true to their artistic ethos. Money matters. Money that matters. Now, Kavya knows the limitation of her industry. She quotes, make hay while the sun shines, because you can't predict when things go haywire. In the world of being an independent artist, Kavya stresses that one should be very particular about managing money. And if you do not have the skill set to do so, we can always take cue from actors from the Hollywood and Bollywood who have managers to handle their finances, leaving them free to focus on their own artistic skills. The author, to sum up, the author, Kavya, again emphasizes on self-awareness and knowing yourself, as in it is helpful in optimizing your strength and minimizing your weakness. So this is all about money talk. So for the next chapter, I again invite Dr. Akash Chanda.
Well, this chapter is very personal chapter she wrote about herself. Personal chapter because she said that she got a lot of experiences and delights because she got perks and privileges in her. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, very well, very clearly.
Okay. She got perks and privileges, and that was especially in her case because she was in a show business. She was a presenter and anchor, so she has to move at various places. So she was having paid vacations, and she enjoyed it. She traveled across 16 countries. She explored new places. She learned, discovered, and she was very happy with this particular thing of her job. She further said that she was developing her own brand also. Like she was meeting different people, she was getting good contacts, more work, and this was again a benefit, a monetary benefit that she was getting, a privilege. And then she said that she met amazing people worldwide. She met various founders, CEOs, leaders, film stars, and it was really delight. And still, she is enjoying this privilege and perks. Maybe in other jobs, they may have some kind of perks and privileges, may not be, but this is very personal, and she was very happy with this particular case. Now, for the next chapter, I would invite Ms. Poonam.
Thank you, Akash. So the next chapter is all about spotlight, the glamour of this profession. Before I do the analysis of this chapter, I really want all of us to close your eyes for a moment and feel that all the attracted eyes, all the spotlight is there on you. What energies are you feeling at this moment? Is it a little anxious? Is it a little responsible? Is it tangible? First of all, it's not. But you can have this abstract idea that there is some power associated with it. And what Kavya says, that with great power comes great joy and great responsibility. So yes, this is a profession to be enjoyed, the presence, the glamour, the perks, the privileges, the money, and everything around you is superb. But it stays superb if you know your responsibility well and if you perform your responsibility really to its authenticity. Because once the light is on you, Kavya says that you can choose to either absorb that light or you can choose to reflect that light to the audience. If you choose to absorb it all, the next time you'll get the spotlight becomes a dubious thing. But if you reflect it all, sharing is caring. And on this thing, the business, the brand equity, and the whole journey becomes worthwhile all the time you are on the stage. So she also emphasizes that a lot of time people have this misconception that is she an anchor or she is an MC. So what she says that anchor is the one who gets to face a camera, and this is a word that belongs to broadcast industry. While she says that being an MC, the master of ceremony, is even more dynamic in nature because there is no scope of retakes over here. So what she says is that for being into this dynamic world, you also have to show your dynamism all across. So what kind of dynamism is required? One is your own awareness, your knowledge, and then your visibility. That means if you are doing a work worthwhile, present it across with your inputs. And how did you feel? And how would you want to carry it forward? And how was the client's feedback? Because if all these things are visible about you, the next opportunity that you get, it's going to be even more worthful about this thing. So she is very, very conscious and serious about creating the demand and increasing the awareness and visibility to continue with this spotlight thing. But she says that there's a word of caution too, because once you are enjoying this glamour, there are constant pressures on you. One pressure comes with dealing with the live audience. That means you are already on your toes, continuously observing, continuously using all your skill set to demonstrate the prowess that you have. But at the same time, there is a doubt constantly itching you from inside. Am I living my life to the fullest? What else is possible? How does it get any better than this? So these kind of questions once bother you, your internal calmness that you practice, your meditative presence that you have practiced for years long, that comes to your savior. So she says that spotlight is a responsibility and you can only handle it when your inner strength is all awakened. So working on your inner strength, connecting with people, getting guidance from them, and doing your homework well allows you to enjoy your spotlight with total 100% involvement. Taking to the next chapter, handing it over to Manisha.
Thank you, Poonam, once again. As you rightly said, when we are in the spotlight, we need to have a look at our appearance. Are we appropriately dressed? Our appearance for a show not only reflects our personal style statement, but also showcases the value we bring to the event. Here, the focus is on the art of presentation, emphasizing the importance of preparation rather than mindless accumulating of clothing. Kavya here again shares experience from her early years as an MC. She had to host a 2-day conference in Delhi for a renowned brand. Given the limited amount of budget allocated to her, she made a decision to stick with a regular black suit and didn't pay much attention to her overall appearance. At that time, she felt that her words were enough to add value to the event, enabling her to save money. But when she arrived at the upscale 5-star hotel, she was surprised to find that the hostesses of the show were more stylishly dressed. One of them playfully asked her whether she was the MC of the show, indicating subtly that she was not impressed with how she was dressed. It wasn't until tea break that these hostesses approached her and complimented her, saying that she was an excellent speaker and host. This might seem insignificant to many, but the underlying point, my dear friends, is when you are under spotlight, your appearance speaks volume, and also how others regard and respect you even before you speak. We all know, and we have heard before also, light travels faster than speed. The same applies for appearance and a first impression. Kavya has given us a few tips we can use for a lasting visual impression. We can make the use of statement necklace from Google. We can make use of fundamentals of makeup and consider investing in a good hairstylist even earlier also. And she, in this particular case, has said that we could have a collection of blazers in essential colors such as black, blue, red, and white, so that we can have a variety of clothing we can choose upon. Apart from the appearance and the clothing, she also considers fitness as very important, very straightforward for her. Fitness is more than just fitting into clothes. It is a mindset. Having an active mind, which comes when you have a fit body, is essential to handle last minute changes in a show, captivate the audience, and adapt to the dynamics of the live performance. Shoshi reminds, stay fit to fit in, but to have, sorry, stay fit, not to fit in, but to have the freedom of choice. Apart from remaining fit, Kavya also considers that as an anchor, it becomes our responsibility that we are representing the brand and the company. So it's always better to incorporate the brand's color into our persona so that we can have a considerable impact on the audience about the brand or the company we are giving. It fosters a sense of teamwork and unity between you and the brand or the company you are representing. Before going ahead, apart from the client brief and aura, she just says, just add a dash of color. What is dash of color? Wake up, make up, and show up. Wake up, wake up to the fact that we need to be appealing. The author had the pleasure during that time of meeting Pratibha Nalla, Miss Pratibha Nalla, hair and makeup artist in 2017. She had collaborated with her on this project and again reconnected with her in 2018 when she decided that to work with Pratibha to create one of her all-time favorite looks for an awards evening. Until this time, she had been herself responsible for her own hair and makeup. But from that time onwards, 2018 onwards, she felt that investing in a skilled hairstylist and a skilled makeup artist is one of the initial steps towards building a strong team and brand equity. So that is the reason again and again she is telling that we need to invest in ourselves. Now the next point comes apart from this, right person, wrong place. What is this? You must be wondering, kya hai? Right person, wrong place? You must have heard. Dilip Kumar was earlier Muhammad Yusuf Khan. Manenge, isn't it? Akshay Kumar was Rajiv Bhatia and Ajay Devgan was Vishal Viru Devgan. They all have their own reasons for changing their screen name. Even our author, who is spelled K-A-V-A K-A-V-E-A-R Chawali, was actually born as Kavya, K-A-V-Y-A Ratna Chawali. Why did she change her name? This change was based on an incident, not on numerology or any other horoscopic or astrology. In one of the incidents, she was confused for another lady with the same name, and she was called on to host one such program. She was also advised, but that program was not the set of programs which she would have gone. It was not at all organized. By the time the program ended by 11:30, she called upon her friend and the coordinator who had called upon. that why did you call me when you knew that I wouldn't be doing all these things? She was advised that you can make it in big in the events industry only if you wear clothes like given in the pictures. And then she was handed a series of images that featured scantily clad women in hot shorts or bikinis. He implied that wearing a sari would get her nowhere. As she left the venue, distressed, two thoughts raised her mind. Was he right? Did she need such clothes to command the stage? And the second thought, how did they mistake her for another woman or another anchor? And what could she do to prevent it from happening again? The second thought became her focus, and our author, Kavya, changed her name Kavya to Kavea. Here, our author, Kavya R. Chawali, was born. Hence, the name change, her interaction with clients and event managers became much smoother, and she witnessed a remarkable transformation in the building of her brand name. So that is how Kavya says that building up your brand name is very important. Now, the next chapter would be on equity. So over to Akash for input on equity. Thank you.
Akash ji, you're on mute.
Unmute कर लीजिए आकाश जी. आकाश जी unmute कर लीजिए please.
Okay, yes. I have. On one hand, we are observing her sense and sensibility. Now, on the other hand, let's find out what she says about equity and taking a stock of it. Now, to her, equity was not like developing your bank balance, developing your physical assets. It was anyhow you manage to contribute positively for the society. She wanted to do good also. On one hand, she was earning wealth, earning name, earning, appreciation and all that. And on the other hand, she wanted anyhow helping people. For this, she had a platform called Kalanika that CA Manisha Agarwal has just mentioned in the beginning. In this venture, she anyhow managed 68 weavers across 8 villages and 122 looms, and in this way she managed ancient Indian heritage and traditional wear for development of everything, for development of society and helping these people who are having skills. Moreover, she was in coaching, and in the process she helped a lot of young learners to come in the field, in her own field, and was also happy for not only getting her own name, but giving opportunities to others also. She said that you should not get success only for yourself. Sometimes it is good to leave stage, and sometimes it is good to appreciate people also. So this was again one of good assets of this lady. Now next was, she said, I'm writing this book, and by writing this book, I will be giving a lot of help to all the learners. Now, this was all we understood what we read from the book. But there were some points, some gaps also in the books. We read it, the question was raised in our mind, rather we discussed it with each other also. Sometimes we didn't get answer. Shall we put it before you or not, if you permit us?
Definitely. I think it would be wonderful.
Like
Yes.
the first point she said, yes, okay. The first point she said,
Akashi, I would really love if more, I mean, I can see Srividya, I can see 33 participants. If people can just switch on the videos, it would be a wonderful experience, because You all are out
Yes,
there.
I want
Technical
everybody. They are. I think all of them are having beautiful faces,
Sir, technical problem. I'm trying, but not
and
working.
everybody must have come after taking a good bath. So I think सब नहा के आए होंगे. इस समय संडे है, चेहरे चमचमाते होंगे. हम भी
चलिए.
आपके चेहरे देख लें. ओके. सो कुछ पॉइंट ऐसे थे जो हमें हमारे सामने आए, हमने आपस में डिस्कस भी किए, हम झगड़े भी. नहीं ऐसा होता है, और पूनम मैडम ने कहा नहीं ऐसा है. One point was the first and very important point, whether we should have a role model or not. The concept of having a role model, whether it helps. I discussed it with my wife also. She was having a role model. Her aunt was a physics professor. So she said from very beginning, I was having in my mind to become a professor of physics. And ultimately I became, because it was in the back of my mind. I was vibrant with it all the time. So I would like to ask everybody whether we should have a role model or role models. Anybody having any experience?
Can I speak?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that is a point where I do not completely agree. I feel you should have people whom you can take certain things, you can learn certain things, but you cannot blindly follow one person, because there are points each. So that's what I believe. We cannot have one single role model. That's one different.
We are
opinion
having
that I
different views on it. More than one role models can be there. Yes,
Yes.
yes, ma'am. Yes, Shema ma'am.
Ritu ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I think
Sharma ma'am also raised hand
Acha,
from
okay.
Chandigarh.
Sir, I think looking at you, sir, your wife is your model and you are her model. So here is a great example where, an eternal model can really orient you to do something good.
Rather, my name is Akash Chanda and her name is Chanda Akash.
Exactly. So both of you are each other's models and you all have helped each other orient yourself and, be achievers. So I think as a general rule, we all need motivation and self-motivation, but also external motivation. So they act as external motivation, but beyond a point, we must be more aware intellectually, emotionally, to be our own models and develop ourselves. To start with someone else is a
Definitely.
nice thing.
Yes,
This is
yes.
my
Very,
opinion.
very true. I totally agree with you.
I also want to
Definitely, I
make a
agree.
point here.
As grown-ups,
Yes, yes,
I
yes,
think
yes.
I should open up our minds and learn to orient ourselves, because sometimes, our role models don't work every time.
You know, here I have a very interesting anecdote or whatever. हमारे scriptures में there's one question to all of you all. Okay, कृष्णा को मक्खन क्यों पसंद था, दूध क्यों नहीं?
क्या बात है.
Because that's the second level of motivation.
Because
No,
मक्खन को
दूध
मत
is
से
very
निकालते हैं ना, वो
much
पूरा
it's
क्रक्स
very much
निकल जाता है
relevant.
उसके अंदर.
ठीक बात है जी.
It's very much relevant to what we are right now discussing. कृष्णा को
वो मत
मक्खन
के निकालते हैं ना, तो उसके अंदर से सारी छाछ फाछ
ये
नीचे
अभी
रह
अभी
जाती है.
अभी हम बुक का मक्खन निकाल रहे हैं.
Sandhya ma'am, that is the crux of everything.
Exactly. So that's what
Makhan
I
is
said.
crux of everything.
That's what I said. Milk is the first level. Makhan is the next level.
Absolutely, absolutely.
मिल्क में अगर आप पानी हो, पानी दूध में घुल जाता है. Milk absorbs it.
जी.
It got it. But over a period of time, वही दूध से दही बनता है, वही दही से मक्खन बनता है. मक्खन में जब आप पानी डालते हो, मक्खन does not lose its identity. So basically, you have to initially, you are following, you are adaptable, you are absorbing all the experiences. Those experiences change your personality as you grow in life. From दूध आप दही, फिर आप मक्खन बनते हो. Makhan adds a lot of flavor to everything that it is added. Makhan has a larger shelf life. Makhan has its own personality. It does not change, but it draws people. So a leader initially is adaptable. Even later on, A leader shows that the leader is open, but at the same time, leader stands one's ground. So that's how you have followers. वही चीज जो आपने बोला ना कि we have people to motivate, but at some point in time we need to develop our own self. That's the reason I don't, that is the one point where I differ from her. I don't believe that we can have one role model, because if we have the role model, we'll try to copy paste. We have to work on our
Definitely,
originality.
definitely.
वो एक चीज है.
When we have something in our mind like role modeling, and we keep on following it, or some goal, I have one Urdu couplet. A poet said कि तेरे हुस्न पर है मेरी नजर, मुझे सुबह शाम की क्या खबर. तेरे हुस्न पर है मेरी नजर, मुझे सुबह शाम की क्या खबर. मेरी सुबह तेरी जुस्तजू, मेरी शाम तेरा इंतजार है.
अरे वाह 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 वाह. So you are great.
The
Yes.
second important point that we were discussing with Poonam ma'am and Sandhya ma'am, that was the point of cultivating good habits. Everybody says that we must have good habits, but for personally, see, for me, it is very difficult. Maybe at this age, but early age में हमें समझ नहीं होती, और बाद की एज में good habits develop होना बड़ा मुश्किल होता है. Is it really possible to develop good habits
Why not?
in early stage?
I think Parag has something to say. Yes,
If we have good habits, if we have some good, yes, Parag.
Yes. First of all, apologies. Can't put on my camera for some odd reasons. So, but very valid point, Dr. Chanda. Habits are so crucial, right, at the early age. So we all keep talking about habits and formation of habits, formation of good habits. And you very well observed that after a certain age, as they say, what and जो example Dr. Sandhya ने दिया कि एक बार मक्खन बन गया तो फिर उसका flavor change नहीं हो सकता है, right? And that is why it's so important to have good habits at the start of your career.
Old habits die hard.
Absolutely, that is how they put it. Perfect. So that's my view.
Yes, in fact, very
Definitely.
valid point related to what Parag just said. चाणक्य नीति में चाणक्य यही कहते हैं कि up to the age of 5 बच्चे को बहुत लाड प्यार से ग्रो करो. From 5 to 15, be a strict disciplinarian. After 15, become the child's best friend. So when people say अभी बच्चा है, बाद में उसको स्ट्रगल करना ही है. But the thing is, that is the formative age. That is the time, if we do not catch them young, we cannot discipline. तब तक वो मक्खन बन जाता है, फिर आप उसको change नहीं कर सकते. So that's why, I mean, yeah, very nice. I think our discussion is taking a very interesting.
There's one more concept to it, which is like अभी आपने ही बोला था डॉक्टर संध्या कि आप एटॉमिक हैबिट्स से निकल करके आ रहे हो. पिछला बुक रिव्यू उसी का था.
Atomic habits.
तो
Right.
बड़े लोग जब हो जाएं और जब फ्रोजन मामला हो जाए तो छोटी छोटी सी बाइट्स और छोटे छोटे से स्टेप्स लेने पड़ते हैं फॉर हैबिट चेंजेस. हम अगर सोचें कि आज मैं ऐसी हूँ और कल मैं वैसी हो जाऊंगी, ऐसा ओवरनाइट चेंज
वो भी बड़ा मुश्किल पड़ता है मैम, कैसे करें.
एग्जैक्टली नॉट पॉसिबल एट ऑल. बट वो जो होता है ना बिल्कुल छोटा छोटा सा स्टेप, वो अगर हम बेबी स्टेप्स लेना शुरू करें तो हमारा एटीट्यूड वापस उस फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी ऑफ बेबी स्पेस में चला जाता है कि जहाँ पे हमने थोड़ा किया ना तो मन को थोड़ी तसल्ली होती है, आज कुछ तो किया, फिर थोड़ा किया, फिर थोड़ी तसल्ली होती है, कुछ तो किया. देन द माइंड स्टार्ट्स फ्लोइंग मोर एनर्जी टुवर्ड्स इट. जैसे जैसे एनर्जेटिकली हम लोग केपेबल होते जाते हैं ना, वैसे वैसे बिहेवियर को भी शिफ्ट करना या पर्सनालिटी को या हैबिट को किसी को भी शिफ्ट करना पॉसिबल है. ये बेस्ट पार्ट है ह्यूमन लाइफ का कि यहाँ पे इम्पॉसिबल कुछ भी नहीं है. यू कांट इवन से
इसका मतलब ये हुआ,
वापस तक नहीं पहुंच सकती. मक्खन को आप लस्सी में डालिए, दोनों का फ्लेवर एंजॉय कीजिए.
अच्छा, इसका मतलब ये फाइनलाइज निकला सर, पराग सर, पूनम मैम, कि इसका मतलब है कि हमारे हाथ में नहीं है इनिशियल हैबिट्स, कोई ना कोई चाहिए हमें इंस्पायर करने के लिए.
Correct.
मतलब कोई ना कोई चाहिए ट्रेनिंग के लिए. मास्टर इज रिक्वायर्ड,
रोल मॉडलिंग
ट्रेनर इज रिक्वायर्ड.
सर यह रोल मॉडल से जब हम बात करते हैं ना, तो मुझे एक चीज और याद आता है कि रोल मॉडल क्या हमेशा पॉजिटिव होना पड़ता है? सर सपोज मुझे कोई एक बंदा, उसकी जो हैबिट्स है मुझे बिल्कुल पसंद नहीं है, इन पर्टिकुलर सपोज आप ये ले लीजिए, सपोज एक मेरे ही फैमिली में मैंने एक लेडीज को बहुत ट्रॉमाटाइज होते हुए देखा है। शी वाज ऑलवेज एकदम सेंसिटिव, सबकी से बात सुनेगी बात सुनेगी बात सुनेगी, नेवर रिप्लाइंग बैक। तो कहीं ना कहीं सर इन ड्यू कोर्स ये लगने लगा मैं ऐसी तो नहीं बनूंगी, शी इज टू गुड टू बी ट्रू, मैं ऐसी नहीं बनने वाली, आई विल बी दैट अदर लेडीज इन माय हाउस जो कि और ज्यादा कॉन्फिडेंट है, जो कि रिप्लाई बैक करती हैं। सो एक तरह से वो मेरी रोल मॉडल बन गई कि मैं उनके
वो भी
जैसे
रोल
नहीं बनूंगी।
मॉडलिंग है।
You know
Yes.
what? You know what? It's like Manisha madam, our parents tell us, I don't know Hindi, so please forgive me.
Okay, no,
बड़े हो, अच्छे हो, आशीर्वाद लो, but no parent says बड़ा हो, गुंडा हो.
exactly.
So our models are positive
Nobody
and
says.
negative also. Our
मतलब
models are
and
positive
somewhere
and negative.
हाँ,
From childhood, we are also taught what not to do.
exactly,
So
conditioning.
those are all, no, it's not conditioning, ma'am. It is also developing a different mindset कि this life is not for me. बड़ा हो गुंडा हो कोई बोलने वाला नहीं है, not at least a parent.
नहीं है
So
बोलने
what
वाला।
I'm trying to say is we do have in life positive models, also negative models.
Here a little what I was trying to say when I don't believe in having a permanent role model. It's like, see, हम लोग from our childhood we are conditioned कि ये करो, ये मत करो, ये मत करो. Now, for example, when I tell people just to this gathering, what do you? I know some of you all would have heard me in the virtual, so I won't say that. But as a child, right throughout my school, I was a totally introvert person. I was very, very obedient, very, very disciplined. And over a period of time, while I was scoring in academics, but I suffered a lot because I was always accepting. And then as I went through life, I realized that it is not, जैसे मनीषा ने अभी बोला, it is not good for me to always listen. Somewhere I need to draw a line. I need to decide what is right, what is wrong. So while I was listening to my elders, after a period of time, I started applying my own learnings and I started changing. That is the process of becoming from दूध to makhan.
Yes,
तो
ma'am.
वो हमें डिसाइड करना है. That's
Absolutely.
where, yes,
Ma'am, it
that's
is exactly like in races. When there are races,
Yes.
the referee, he blows the whistle and we start. So that is the guidance we need as childhood. And afterwards, at what speed to go, what to do to continue the race or not is up to us. So I
Yes.
think it's
Great,
like a
ma'am.
race in which you have as an athlete. Correct?
Yes.
वो सिटी
Yes, ma'am.
मारता है and we start. But later on, we are big enough, mature enough, intelligent enough, and capable enough to think for ourselves. So not always what we are also taught. I would go a step ahead, an extreme step, and say that maybe even what our parents taught us was applicable in those socio-economic conditions. Later on, everything what they taught us is not always relevant in today's society. So we need to think for ourselves. That's the best way. And man is the only thinking animal who can improve himself, as Radhakrishnan said.
Also, ma'am.
Yeah, enough.
Radhakrishnan,
जब तक समझ आती है
Radha,
टाइम निकल जाता है.
nice, sir. Radhakrishnan, the great educationist, said man is the only person who's capable of improving himself. So let us take that as the great sentence and lead our life.
Very
Now
well.
see, for example, Kavya has said that she worked a lot on her image. Yes, it's right. But I don't think there'll be any stage in the world where Dr. Sudha Murthy would go on stage and people are not going to appreciate her. And she is the lady for the past several years. She has never purchased a single sari on her own. She is
Yes,
an
ma'am.
absolute, simple, humble, honest lady. So it
We
is.
can't forget her contagious smile.
Yes. So
We
I
can't
still,
forget her contagious smile.
yes, her first day in the parliament, she starts with, I mean, I don't know, I'm a teacher, and so the way she was, she was absolutely humble. So yes, appearances are important, but it is those appearances will influence people only for the first 15 minutes. After that, you better have content. If you do not have content, any amount of any amount of external preparation is not going to help you. and the word will spread. That energy, that internal energy, that passion. Like today, I was really enjoying, whether it was Manisha, whether it was Poonam, whether it was Akashi, all three, whatever they read from the mic 1 to 3, each of them, they were passionately into it. I mean, they kept us engaged. ऐसे नहीं कि I really loved it. I really loved the.
Completely agree with you, Sandhya.
Sandhya ji,
Yes.
that is
Yes.
because you got the right person in the right place.
I just got the
The
book.
credit goes to Dr. Sandhya because we were not having even book. So Sandhya ji photo stated, sorry, took pic of 100 pages and sent to me. See the
And ma'am, I
passion
got
she
the
had.
book on Sunday,
Yes.
Sunday, ma'am. Sunday, I
Manisha.
got the book, ma'am. If you remember, you called me up
Yes,
and I read
yes.
it.
Yes.
Acha, one more point that we discussed, and that was again a very important point, is the superpower believing in yourself.
Yes.
Now, what was my apprehensions, which I put before my colleagues Manisha and Poonam, was that is it possible to get self-belief in an early stage?
It depends how we are brought up.
Yes, ma'am. I completely agree with you, ma'am. Completely.
There are people
It
you'll
means
find.
nothing in our hand. It means nothing in our hand, all training waste.
Mm.
If not trained properly, or somebody is not there to inculcate good habits in us, it will take good time for us to develop.
Definitely, sir. So when we are appreciating small children from day one, sir, then they start believing, yes, I can do something. When the child takes the first step, we are happy and we clap for that child. Then he feels, yes, he feels that yes, I can do something. The small things, that small achievements, the child feels happy, and then the self-belief starts from there itself, sir. So what I believe, yes, reinforcement is required.
Yes, Rajiv ji. Sir, you want to say something? Rajiv Walia ji.
Yes, yes. Actually, sorry, I
Sir,
can't
sir,
put my
sir.
camera on also. But
Sir,
I'd just like
sir.
to add here. I think you raised a very valid point about like can self belief be inculcated. So I'd just like to make two small points. One is that I read somewhere about psychology that between the ages of 5 and 6, that is the time when you actually the child actually is able to like there's a dominance kind of a hierarchy which is between children. So between that 5 and 6 is a very critical phase in which they actually learn how to dominate their group, or where they stand in the group, in the play group and all that stuff. So
Right.
it lays the foundation. But I was just thinking कि जिन लोगों ने कोरोना के टाइम में वो 5 to 6 years बिताया है, they probably lost that window, of actually learning. So most of them are floundering around. I think that's really my takeaway.
Definitely.
And
That's
another
where
thing.
the.
So we
Yes,
should
please.
welcome Dr. Rajkumar Adukia. He's here. Ma'am,
Oh, okay.
good evening,
Yes.
sir.
Good evening, sir.
Nandita ji, good evening, sir. Nandita ji want to say something. Yes, Nandita
Good
ji.
evening, good
No,
evening.
एक minute. We have Aditya
Good
sir.
No,
evening,
no,
sir.
no.
My
Please,
Yeah,
I
wife.
Aditya
would
sir, please,
carry on.
Aditya sir,
I
good
still
evening.
have to understood what is happening on. So
Sir.
please carry on.
Sir, the point we were discussing in the book was the superpower believing in yourself. The author says in the beginning of your life, you anyhow develop believing your own self. And my apprehensions, rather, my colleague Manisha ji and Poonam ji, we were discussing, is it possible to get this belief without any proper, somebody, proper training, proper inspiration? We need somebody. So how it is possible to get belief?
Dr.
Yes, Nanda
Akash
ji.
ji,
Sir, sir,
it
sir.
is inbuilt in us when we took the birth on this planet. See, this
Sir.
app is there, belief app. I'll give you an example. 4 days back, I had to take a flight for Nagpur, which is 6:10 in the morning. That means I must reach
Sir.
airport before 5:10. I got up at 4:15 because by mistake I put the evening alarm rather than morning alarm. And I
Sir.
took my bath, did my toothbrush, everything, and I was at airport at 4:50. So that was because of the belief that I will reach. The driver was also late by 5-7 minutes. He said also that he woke up early, then he again went for the sleep. So belief removes negativity, and belief gives extra power to achieve. So, in the Think and Grow Rich book, the
Yes, sir.
second step to riches is faith. First is a desire, faith, auto-suggestion.
Definitely, sir. Napoleon
So,
Hill.
so belief, without training, belief comes. Like we have to tell our mind ki I am 100% confident. Even 99.9 will not work. तो वो आ जाता है, मतलब उसको हम प्रैक्टिस करते हैं ना, तो वो आ जाता है.
Yes, sir. But थोड़ा सा motivation कभी कभी. For example, आपने हमें motivate किया. See, today on Sunday evening, we are having 31 participants. 31 people.
नहीं, दूसरा क्या करेंगे? We are live. ऐसा मैसेज पुट करो. Like we started at 4 o'clock. So 4 o'clock in various other groups also you can spread this. This may not be only for us. So at 4 o'clock when we start now in the ITT and MCS, put a group that we are live now. So I'll make you Dr. Sandhya admin in both the group.
Okay, sir.
Like how I made Mr. Yogesh Chandak admin. So you can put we are live now.
Yes. Yes, sir.
And this book is very good, The Power of Belief,
Yes.
because whatever has happened, Wright brothers inventing, Thomas Alva Edison doing maximum invention, this Swami Vivekanand, he went to Chicago with the belief. He did not had any invitation to address. He did not had the money to travel. So I think belief is a very, very the students who become CAs, they have a belief that they can become CA. Therefore, those who become at the later age, one female CA has become at the age of 59. Last election, we have an election, December 21. I contested after a gap of 6 years. But I had a belief, 100% I will win. So belief makes a lot of difference. Yesterday
Definitely.
I addressed at Pimpri Chinchwad. So this affirmation before we do anything. So I affirmed this will be the best speech. There will be a standing ovation, and then we do that task. It happened that way.
Yes.
So belief has many substitute like affirmation, visualization, seeing that things are happening.
Auto suggestion.
Auto suggestion. That comes the third step, in Think and Grow Rich. First is a burning desire, faith, auto suggestion, knowledge, imagination. I'll stop here. I think you are all discussing. I just I saw the message
It
of
was
Dr.
inspiring
Sandhya.
input, sir.
Yes, we are missing you. I saw the message and immediately I joined.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Adukya sir, thank you so much, sir. This is T. Rajiv Walia. Sir, I have a question for you.
Yes.
I have a friend who has a very expensive car. It's like almost like 4 or 5 crores. But he says to me that, Rajiv, I will only take this car out. He doesn't take it out for last 3-4 years. It's sitting in the garage. So I asked him, why you're not taking the car out? He says, Rajiv, I'll only take it out when all the lights on the road are green.
Mm-hmm.
So the question really is that, when will he get that green light? That is the question really.
We are not concerned with the world. We are concerned with self.
Yes. So,
Rajiv,
but
here I would like to say he'll know if all the lights are green if he gets his car out.
right.
If he gets his car out on the road, तभी तो पता चलेगा कि lights red है या
Bilkul,
green.
bilkul. That's it. That's really what the moral of this message was, that you have to take a chance. Until you take a chance, you're not going to get the green light, right? So that's analogy to our bodies, our self, and that we really need to actually take a chance. And sometimes we may not meet with success, but I'm always inspired by this young girl that I taught in OC. I've taught about 15,000 students, and this lady stood out because I raised a topic कि आप मम्मी पापा को सब बताना चाहिए. And so I had a topic about romantic relationships in CA also. So she mixed it up and she said that, I never told my parents that I was involved with somebody. But the moment I felt confident, I was very confident about myself. I am very confident about my decision making. And when I felt that the time was right, I told them, because I knew if I told them in advance, they would be worried. And that the way she said it still rings out. That means she's a fully, I thought that she had more decision power than even me at that time, because yeah, I honestly, still confer with my mother, and but she had that confidence to go out on her
राजीव जी,
own.
हमारा सब्जेक्ट मैटर है पावर ऑफ बिलीफ.
Right, sir. Right, sir.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So what I mean, from whatever discussion we have had, wonderful discussion, first of all, lots of learnings. And I have taken 5 points from the entire presentation. First and most important, to be a good speaker, to be a good trainer, because to be a good trainer, you have to be a good speaker. First and foremost is invest in yourself. Because if you are not there, nothing else is there. So you are the star in every session, whether it is a training session or whether you're on stage, whatever, you are the key. So investing in yourself is most important. Once you invest in yourself, whatever you are doing, okay, the second and point that I really loved was enjoy your spotlight. Because when you enjoy it, that, today, all three, whether it was Manisha, whether it was Poonam, whether it was Dr. Akash, all three were enjoying the spotlight. When you enjoy, that joy comes on your face, the smile, the excitement, it comes in your voice. That is, you cannot, however, if you practice, if your emotions, you're not happy from within, then happiness doesn't come in your voice. So if it comes in your voice, that means you're enjoying the spotlight. Then the dressing doesn't matter, whatever doesn't matter. The third point is that fitness is a mindset. I mean, that is very important, because it prepares, however prepared you are, there will always be surprises. The one example I give to my students is, let's say you are prepared with the best presentation tools, you have the best team, the best technology, you're all set for your preparation, for your presentation. Whatever drama you had planned, you're using that drama and you are presenting. Let's say you are on your third slide. And there is this, let's say, a strategy director in the audience who gets up and says, you know what, cut the crap and answer my question. And it's definitely shocking, because you are fully prepared. And ऐसे भी हो सकता है कि the question that the person has put up, the question is on your 29th slide. And let's say you're a team of 2 or 3 speakers and you have planned your slides. So you have a sequence that is planned. अब सवाल आपके सामने ये है कि if you have done the brainstorming enough, the answer is on the 29th slide. Should you jump to the 29th slide? So if I am not prepared, if I'm not fit in mind, it will disturb me, because I don't know the tone that the person has said, cut the crap. That means what the hell am I doing over here? Am I on the right track? Maybe ऐसे होगा कि शायद that person has nothing against what I'm saying. घर में शायद झगड़ा करके आया है and वो यहाँ पे कर रहा है. So it is, first of all, we tend to go on the defensive. Instead of that, we need to apply our mind. That can happen only when we have a calm, fit mind. Okay? Trying doesn't, I mean, you can always check. You need to, first of all, change your tone. And you could say that, is it okay, sir, or is it okay, ma'am, if you address your question shortly? To show that you're definitely going to address, maybe you can note down, you or your team can note down the point. That shows that you're definitely going to address. And agar wo nahi manta hai, to aapke paas option hi nahi hai. You have to go ahead and answer. But if this trick proves to be successful, you still get to continue the flow. If it is not successful, maybe you can call the next speaker who was supposed to address, or you could address it in a gist. But trying, that is important. And this can happen only if you're calm, only if you're fit in your mind. So that one point I really loved. Fourth point, stay fit because you will have the freedom of choice. If you are fit, because if I am comfortable in whatever, by what I take, stay fit, yes, definitely we would love to be in the best of our images, but it's not always possible. Let's be realistic. It's not always possible. Each of us has our strengths. Each of us has our weaknesses. So with that, we could try to stay as fit as possible, uh, enough to make us comfortable, because that gives us the freedom of choice. And the last point, I actually heard the first two parts. The third, maybe you all could add. It was, I know it is there in the book, wake up, make up, and what is the third one?
Show up. Show up.
Show up.
Show up.
Show up.
Yes.
Wake up, make up, show up.
Yes, yes.
Sure.
Say when Adukya sir said, wake up. Okay, we wake up. He woke up late. Okay, but still quickly, if you're fit mentally, you have worked towards it, then you will quickly make up. And it's important. But in your mind, you have to have decided that yes, I'm going to show up there, come what may. That is what, I am going to show up. Like I rushed into the session, and it was not, but still I knew that I have to have my video on. I'm not telling this to people who don't have, but I'm just saying it makes me feel accountable that yes, because once my video is on, I have to listen. I cannot move around. I cannot goof around. Even if I'm seriously watching, but still when my video is off, I could possibly, I may feel I'm listening, but I may get distracted. So that wake up, make up, and show up. That is the
Make up and show up.
show up. I really love, these are the 5 points, my takeaway. I mean, I would have loved to summarize, but I don't want to spoil the takeaway because
I'm going to summarize, don't worry.
yes. So it was wonderful.
Miss Poonam has something to share, we decided.
Yes.
And sorry.
The time has taken, but Poonam, I think you can summarize the utility part in a very
She
short
has
time.
something in her mind,
That
very
would be
important.
great.
I want her
So
to
she
share.
would give the rating and also the summary.
Yes.
So over to
Yeah,
you.
so
Poonam.
Sandhya, thank you
And
so
yes,
much.
before
Sandhya ma'am,
Poonam
you
starts
have
the
very
summarization.
brilliantly put the points across. I'll be talking about 2 minutes for the utility and the possibilities for this book. The utility of this book is for a lot of youngsters, those who aspire to get onto the stage and build a career around it. Is it worthwhile to make a choice like this? If you read this book, you get quite motivated from inside to take it seriously. And what kind of work you need to do across, it is very elaboratively put over there. But if you're looking for something which is like a public speaking skill being portrayed over in this book, you'll get empty-handed out because there is no technical details provided in this book that how to be on the stage, how to prepare a speech, or what should be the body language. There is very less emphasis on this book. Thirdly, there is a big possibility because we are all seasoned professional over here. It's just a 100-page book, but if you read it through, there are a lot of subtle messages nudging your mind, giving you gentle reminders. And I'll just read out quickly what those gentle reminders are. So first one is the technique of modeling and mirroring the author talks about. So when she talks about modeling, she says that she has already modeled almost like 30 plus people in her career to do a backward integration of upskilling. That what skill she requires, she chooses a role model for that, and she deciphers it into factors. That what factor, if I incorporate in my persona, will give me an added advantage while I'm on stage. So second thing that she has chosen is like mirroring. Mirroring is like being very keen on observation and finding the last possible details while not imitating someone, but actually accentuating your own persona. The second thing that she talks about is the value of acknowledgement in life. Acknowledgement is like showing up, claiming your worth. She says that I'm a good anchor, but If I'm a good anchor, I'll go to people and tell what value I can add to your programs. And this is how she has made whole of her career. The third thing that she talks about is being present. So what Sandhya ma'am was talking about, the fitness. So she says that you're only being able to present when you take care of your fitness. So it's a gentle reminder for all of us, we the seasoned professionals, so-called seasoned ones, that let's take care of our body 100% energy. The fourth point that she says is the strategic flexibility. That because she anchors a lot of programs, she becomes the master of ceremony of a lot of programs. So a content heavy program, a product launch program, a celebrating event program, a corporate gala program, everything would be very different. And that requires a lot of accommodation into the presentation skills. So if you are aware, if you are knowledgeable, and if you have depth and width of information in and around the industry, you can actually choose this flexibility and create that show for your people. So to have that strategic flexibility, just invest into your information, your knowledge building, and this book can be one small vital piece for that. The next she talks about is rapport building, which is a very important tool of communication effectiveness. She says that tapping the mind of people, what are they expecting out of you? It's a great skill. And let's build up that skill block by block. It's like you can't get it to have it, one day that what is this person, what's running in this person's mind, what is he expecting out of me? But if you practice it deliberately and intentionally, you'll get it very soon. And that will work as a magical charm inside your being. The last point that she talks about is the energy exchange and gratitude living. That if you are consistently making a good career, it is all about spreading the joy, spreading the gifts, spreading the worth of your knowledge and worth of your being across the people. If you train people, if you gift your possibilities to people, if you kind of give a wonderful interaction capability to people, this is all your gift. Like Kavya has chosen to gift it back to the society from which she has received a lot of life, glamour, worth, money, everything. So this is what this book is in a nutshell. So there's a lot of utility. It's a crisp run, but I would again give you a word of caution that if you are not an avid reader, you can choose to skip this book as well, because we have already given a lot of stuff from this book. Two, this book is only worth investing your time as a tea refresher kind of thing, because there is not much conceptualization in this book that you need to read it again and again. So my team and we included, we discussed it so many times. So we have chosen to give this book somewhere from 2.5 to 3 ka rating. So you can also choose that. Would you like to go ahead and read this book, or this much input about the book is enough? Else, if at all it is for youngsters, it's worthy to be read. If at all it is for the people who are like choosing to stage themselves, it's a worthy read. Thank you so much.
Wonderful,
Wonderful,
wonderful.
wonderful. Yeah. Yes, Mangala ma'am. Do you think the review was good enough?
It was very enlightening, very
Yes.
informative, very well structured. And what was also important is all the speakers and you also conveyed it with a great smile. So, the consistency with which we wanted to listen to it. And I, for one, took down lots of points, and they'll be very useful both in life and in my teaching. So that's the practicality of this book review, apart from, self-development. Thank you.
Best part is we are still 29 people. We are still on the call. It's an hour and a half Sunday evening. That shows the excitement. And I think that is what is helping us also to stay on top
Certainly.
of.
Don't worry, I'm always there to motivate you.
Yes.
Constant motivator.
Thank you.
This
This
is
is
you, ma'am.
really
Thank you so much.
thanks for everybody for kind listening us.
Yes,
आप कुछ
absolutely.
बोलना
You
चाह
were
रहे
a
हैं,
brilliant
अंकुर जी?
audience.
We got motivated.
Sandhya ma'am, I wanted to say something. I have also read this book. It's all in my
Yes,
hand.
I could see it on the camera. You had it in your hand.
So
Yes.
I would eventually thank all Manisha ji and Poonam ji and Akash ji. एक सूत्रधार उन्होंने शुरू किया, क्योंकि slides, chapter division, it was not like एक speaker का हुआ and it's said and done, they are gone. No. So there was a connection happening between all the three speakers. And of course, it was a big time learning for all of us. Two learnings I had, one from the book and one from the presenters. So it was
Yes.
something
Right.
amazing, something amazing. I mean, all three of them were very, very clear what they read and what they have done in deliverables. बहुत ही amazing था. And ma'am, I have already made 2 batches read this book, orientation के 2 batches. So because I was reading it, और रोल मॉडल मुझे लगता है हम लोगों के लिए रोल मॉडल बन रहे हैं. हमारी जर्नी में अभी तक हम बनते हुए आ रहे थे, लेकिन लोग और स्टूडेंट्स अब हमको फॉलो कर रहे हैं. So small things to change in our routine and in our lifestyle is also very important. So it was a beautiful journey, and I have a high fever today, around 102 degrees. But then eventually I managed, because I never wanted to miss this session. And it was amazing, worth sitting out here and enjoying all.
Get well soon. Get well soon, Chordia sir.
Thank you,
And
Ankuja.
let
Thank
me
you so
add over
much.
here. Let me add over here before we end this call. I have been working with the 3 speakers as a silent listener, and they had a very tough, busy schedule. उसमें उन लोगों ने जो particularly the last 2 days, the way they have slogged and they have worked hard, they have worked late night, and they have ensured, and the effect is wow. The effect is wow. I think
और कमाल की बात यह है कि हम एक दूसरे से कभी मिले नहीं, पहली बार संध्या मैम ने मिलाया है.
एंड मैम, अब तो हमने ना आकाश जी को कहा है, डॉक्टर आकाश हमारे सिलीगुड़ी आएंगे, पूनम जी हमारे सिलीगुड़ी आएंगी एज गेस्ट स्पीकर्स. हम ठीक है ना मैम?
अरे हम भी आने वाले हैं, अग्रवाल मैडम.
आप भी सहारनपुर आइएगा.
हमारे सिलीगुड़ी ब्रांच बहुत अच्छा है.
आना तो
हम सब
सहारनपुर
आपको
होके
इनवाइट
जाते हैं.
करेंगे सर.
आकाश जी, आप आज का कॉम्बिनेशन देखिए. आकाश चंदा थे, पूनम जी थी, संध्या थी और साथ में मनीषा जी थी. चारों नाम को मिक्स कर दीजिए. एवरीथिंग हैज टू बी एक्सीलेंट ओनली, नथिंग लेस देन दैट.
Thank you, Kishore sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kishore sir.
क्या बात
This metaphor stands out.
Thank you. So I guess with that, I think we need to end our session. So thank you so much for being such a wonderful audience. And definitely, we are looking for the feedback. Please put the feedback in the book review group. I would also, request you all to put, to spread the word about this group in other groups also. We love more participation, because the more questions, the more participation, the more learning will happen, the more. And I would also like one opinion. I'm trying to bring a variety of books. Is that a good approach?
Definitely, it is a good approach.
Definitely.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I just don't want it to be boring. I don't want the same style of book. So let's hope. Let's see for the next month. I'll try to bring in some different books. Thank you so much.
Sure.
And I think with this,
just one thing, Sandhya ma'am, I would like to say that if you need any help, I'm there in Mumbai, so I can help you with this. And I think we should get variety of books, the self-help ones as well as the ones that we did today. Really amazing. Loved it.
yes. Thank you so much. Which branch are you associated with?
BKC.
Oh wow.
Bandra.
Okay,
Yeah.
give me a call.
I'll meet you. Yes, for sure.
Yes, we'll definitely. I don't know if I met you, but let's see. Chalo.
Yeah,
Thank
sure.
you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, everybody.